Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Doctor. Hope you're having a fantastic evening tonight. I hope you guys are ready to rest and relax and get ready for the day tomorrow. We are having another beautiful sunny day out here in the Pacific Northwest, and we did get 2 new cards and a new Esper today. So we're going to be talking about Lamia, we're going to be talking about the Snow White Guard, and we're going to be talking about the new Vision card, the Seductive Serpent that came out with that. If you guys also didn't know, I did recently become an Amazon affiliate. If you're gonna buy Visior, please do try and support me and use my affiliate links down in the comments section. It would really support me, and it's one of the easiest ways to benefit me if you're gonna be buying that anyway. Taking a look at these cards, it's important to note that we did get a little bit of a different card than Japanese got for Lamia card. So we do of course have the Snow White Guard, which is going to be slash resistance up, missile resistance up, and max HP down with a party ability a critical boost. For the card with Lamia though, we actually get Ice Eater, and it actually used to be Male Eater. And I know that sounds a little bit weird, but it used to be like a male killer effect. So she would have enhanced damage against other male units. So it's actually kind of a nerf if you consider the amount of male units that are currently in global. She would have been a much more powerful card if it was male killer. I do still think she does have her uses though, and we're gonna go ahead and jump into those. But first, let's talk about her as an Esper. So she is not a UR Esper, first and foremost. She is a MR Esper. She's gonna have 5% resistance to ice, 10% weakness to water. Her stats are interesting. She's gonna be 13th in HP. She's gonna be 3rd in TP actually, 11th in AP, and just a quick shout out here, 20 initial AP is not the worst. 22nd in dexterity, which is pretty bad. Her cost though is pretty low, and while we haven't encountered cost yet in the global version of the game, this is gonna be relevant as we approach more JP content later on down the road. She is 14th in attack, 10th in magical power, 15th in agility, and I will say that agility 8 is actually really low here. And then she's 21st in luck, or she has 21 luck. She's 22nd out of 23 in luck. So it's a lot of what you would expect from an MR Esper. She's not gonna be super overpowered, but maybe her abilities will offset that. So let's go ahead and take a look at what type of abilities that she has. So she has, of course, summoning magic like every Esper. She's gonna have that accuracy plus 7%, which most Espers have. She's actually gonna get striking resistance, and it's gonna be a beefy 15% strike resistance. I think probably the sleeping best benefit here is going to be that she does get attack plus 15%. She also gets Ice Killer, so she's really gonna be built everything about Siren you need to think about Ice Killer. She's not gonna get that core evasion that a lot of Espers get. She's also gonna get striking attack up. So in terms of Lamia, you really want to think of her as like a strike attack Esper almost, but you could use her for other things because she does have attack plus 15%. She does have that Ice Killer. She also has water resistance, which in the future is going to be really important when some of those ferocious water mages come out that will just destroy your party if you don't have water resistance. So there's something to keep in mind there. Also, if you're a new player and you're investing in her just a little bit, let's say you have a strike unit you're leveling, she also has Undead Killer, which Undead Killer is one of the highlights from the very first event that came out in Global that helped me personally win the event, because it allowed me to deal more damage to the skeletons that were in the match with my Y'shtola, and it actually enabled me to get that 2K achievement from using my Y'shtola because I didn't have a Medina. So I am a very big advocate of Undead Killer because we do see it a lot in the story content and in the special event content. There's lots of undead characters. So you might just want to use her as a story Esper if you're not investing in other Espers. Scoop up that attack plus 15% and then just invest in Undead Killer. That's also a possibility. Now, of course, if you're going to be doing PvP or anything like that, you probably have another Esper who's going to be significantly better than that. I'm just kind of talking about a niche use here. Now, taking a look at her card, let's just shout out that there's a little bit of fan service going on here, and I think the artist that did this card is probably the same artist that did Christmas Ramada. The JP card is much better, you guys, and so we're gonna have to be careful going forward, looking at different builds in the future, because it's gonna be taking into effect Male Killer on Lamia, which is gonna be plus 15 if she was fully maxed out. She also has Fire Attribute Ability Attack up plus 20 for the whole party. And so when we're thinking about how we're gonna utilize this card, we need to think about what's coming in the future and how JP would have used it, right, if they had gotten the card like this. So when most of the time JP would be considering how to use this against, say, ice units, or sorry, against male units, we need to start thinking about how we're gonna use it against ice units. And there are a lot of ice units coming out. There's a lot of ice units in the current meta, specifically Medina and Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is still gonna be relevant when he gets his second ability enhancement. Agrius, though, is probably the #1 unit that you're gonna wanna be thinking about here. And in terms of fire attack up, you probably already have an Ishtola leveled, so that's probably gonna benefit her as well. But there's also gonna be King Elda, who's gonna be coming out. There's gonna be Delita, who's coming out. And of course, there's going to be Rain from Brave Exvius. So there's a lot of fire units that are coming out. We do have access to a pretty easy fire element unit with Ishtola, so I think you might actually get some use out of this. It's gonna be very situational though. Now, some cards that are similar are going to be like Ifrit with that fire attack plus 10% and then that party effect of attack plus 50%. But I also wonder if you have this card, let's say you have the Lamia card, why would you use it if you have one of these other cards, right? If you had King Eld, why would you use the Lamia card if you had maybe the Pierce attack plus 35 card? Unless you had multiple people in the party. If you had Ishtola, why wouldn't you just use Trousseau and get that magic attack up? So there's a lot of questions around if this card is viable or not. I think it potentially could be against Agrius, but I also think if you're, been playing a long time, even if you're a free-to-play player that's been playing a long time, you probably have access to significantly better cards than this, and it might just be something that you table for now, you collect, and maybe one day when Agrius comes out, you build an anti-Agrius build and just murder all the Agriuses that are out there. Now, the second card that came out, White Bodyguard, I think, is actually significantly more useful. And there's a variety of reasons for this. Specifically, though, it has a bunch of good stats that you can utilize, as well as a party ability that is the best party ability for that category. So at max level, it does give HP 284, but it also gives an even amount of attack and magic, which is incredible. So it kind of lets you place it on any unit that you want to survive, right? Because the effects that it grants are slash attack resistance plus 15, missile attack resistance plus 15, and max HP minus 15%. I think gaining that amount of slash resistance and attack resistance is totally worth losing that max HP 15%. If you consider all of the units, Frederica, Orlando, God, who else is in the meta right now? Pretty much anyone except Ayaka is gonna have slash attack. Gafgarian, Mont, Engelbert, I mean, Kitone, like all the ninjas, everyone has slash attack. Frederica's gonna have missile attack. So if you just want a character to survive an attack from other units, put this card on them. It's a great card. And not only that, it also offers access to building some pretty unique builds. With the party ability of critical plus 18, that is the highest critical plus party ability that we can get currently in global. And it really opens up some scary possibilities for example, a 100% crit build. Currently in global, our best critical hit rate card has been Cactar for a party-wide critical hit rate buff, and that has been +9. We also have cards like Bomb and Funtime, which give critical hit rate +20, but that's only for the individual unit. So if you can imagine, if we're equipping Funtime and Bomb on a character, in addition to that additional critical plus 18 party effect, that's an additional critical hit rate +38, which is nuts, because you can easily, with specific spear units and even some axe units like Yerma, easily get 62 critical hit rate out of those characters. So you could potentially hit a 100% critical hit rate build. I would love to test it. I would love to see how it operates. Maybe that's something I'll be doing in the future. We're gonna have to see and experience it. Finally, of course, we're going to talk about Iron Giant because of his slash attack resist. A lot of people run Iron Giant because he gives that slash attack plus and that slash attack resistance plus. I see it being in a similar category as Iron Giant. I could see us utilizing this card. I could see it being really effective, and I could see us really diving in and getting into more of a defensive meta or potentially an anti-missile meta, right? There's going to be a couple arena maps coming up. They're going to be really terrible for melee characters because the ranged are just going to be able to snipe them. So that's going to be coming in the future, and we really have to be thinking about that now and how we're going to be defending against that. All right, you guys, well, we are at the end of the video. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.